welcome back. We are here waiting for the premiere of the trailer. It's supposed to start any second now. What I see from this image is a forest town, much like Forgotten Hollow or Granite Falls, very piney. Oh, I guess Glimmerbrook? Is it Glimmerbrook? Why can I never remember these things? Also is a very piney, foresty town or world or whatever. This one is a little more industrial looking, cabin industrial, like rustic industrial looking. So there are smokestacks. Oh, here it is. Okay. As always, I have turned the sound pretty much off because I don't want to get a copyright strike. A lot of these trailers include copyrighted music, and we don't want that to happen. So we will watch through and react as the whole thing is playing like usual, and then go through it bit by bit like I usually do. I'm excited. Let's get into it. Okay. Right off the music. Oh, I'm sorry. I have my closed captioning still on. I'm not wearing my hearing aids, so. Okay. She's a werewolf. I think we got that. Interesting. Oh, she can see other werewolves. Okay. Like a hidden bunker type place. Oh, she lives underground. Full moon. She's gonna turn into a werewolf now. Ouch. That looks painful. Okay, they're all werewolves? Whoa. Okay then. Ew! Aww. Okay. So, some kind of conflict between werewolves. They fight a lot, apparently. Interesting. Ew. Okay, some kind of food stall thing. Oh, they do run on all fours. Okay, then. Interesting. Huh. Okay. June 16th. Okay. June 16th. Got it. That was a little bit overwhelming. I feel like the images went by a lot faster in this one than they typically do. Ooh, that's kind of pretty. The moon reflecting on the lake. Okay, or the pond or whatever. Okay, the town. So yes, there are factories, lots of factories. It's very northern, rustic, industrial. I kind of like that. And we kind of knew from the teasers, the leak, sorry, that she was gonna turn into a werewolf. So that was kind of obvious. And then here they are running on all fours. I didn't catch that the first time. I didn't catch that until almost the end. And here is the town at night. Did we get an overview of the world to see how many potential lots there are? I don't think we did. Maybe that's a bite or a scratch where she became infected. And during this part, it almost seemed like she could see who was a werewolf and who wasn't a werewolf. Yeah, okay. So these are all werewolves? but it almost kind of looks like maybe she can sense who is a werewolf and who's not. Or just maybe it's saying that everybody is a werewolf here. That's some cool graffiti. Okay, okay, we've been asking for this kind of stuff forever. Like, we have a few bits and pieces here and there that might work, but like these doors, this couch, it looks like this rug back here might be quite worn with a few other little bits and pieces here and there. We could really make, I bet you this stuff is fairly cheap too, so we could make, well, actually knowing The Sims, it might not be, but we can make like really run down looking places. Furniture built out of old luggage and stuff. Every few expansion packs or game packs or whatever, add a couple more elements that would allow you to build like a really rundown, rustic kind of I'm poor and just starting out with no money kind of build. You know what I'm trying to say, right? A lot of us builders have been asking for this kind of stuff, and people who love playing rags to riches have been asking for this kind of stuff as well. Really just badly run down, cheap stuff that you would find in like old sheds and things like that. This aesthetic fits that. Yeah, like this chair looks like it might be ripped and scratched possibly. There's the doors again. The really rough worn doors. It looks like some new lights possibly. A new rough and worn table with raw steaks. So maybe the werewolves have to eat a raw meat diet. I wonder how that's gonna work. If it just becomes regular food in a regular fridge, what's the stopping your other Sims from eating the raw meat? I'm guessing those are like a decorative wall thing, kind of like the ones from the vampire pack. I'm seeing a lot of like little junk pieces down here. Tires, barrel, lots of little decorative items that fit to the feel and the space of it. Maybe possibly some worn flooring here. It looks pretty roughed up with missing tiles maybe. Potentially a new bookcase over here. I'm a builder, so this is the part that I enjoy, is looking for all the potential new objects. Oh, and there are soda cans on the table. So maybe they can drink soda. Do we have that? I don't think we have that other than the bottles from Eco Living. I can't think of any. Maybe they do and I just never have my Sims use them. I don't know. That's a possibility. But these look new to this pack. Oh, cute little bottles and old parchment paper and some kind of old book, a journal, diary, another book, some toys maybe, a wolf and a lamb. I mean, it makes sense. And then this thing could be a toy. It could be a fish, a new type of fish it looks like. More worn furniture, which I'm loving. I can already see in my mind all the rags to riches sheds and houses. Here's a better look at that flooring with the missing tiles and the cracks and stuff. The fish gets me though. Like, I don't think you can place fish that you catch on tables right now, can you? So either this is a plushie, a toy for kids, or they are just showing off a new fish type that you can get in this pack. That's cute, but a little bit supernatural with the floating star. Looks like it might be some kind of sculpture. And a new lamp in the shape of a flower. And then this little, mushrooms, that's what it is. Like a little glass jewelry box, but it's growing mushrooms out of it. Another book. Is this wood flooring new? I think it might be new. new wood flooring, more beat up, rustic, peeling, painted walls or doors. Looks like maybe a door or something there. A new broken down archway here. And there's the giant full moon. And she's turning. It looks like a painful process, honestly. It looks like a very painful process. Is that a new bonfire, potentially? And a junk car, possibly some factory type windows, and there's a better close-up look. To me, these look more like coyotes. That was the first thing I saw when I saw the render, or possibly fox. And the ears like really say fox to me, possibly coyote. More coyote than fox, honestly, but I'm not complaining. There are so many different interpretations of werewolves out there that it's really to each their own what they like and what looks good and like a werewolf to them. And I think this is the montage where it shows us all the different ways we can paint the fur and decorate, and all the different, like, it looks like the ears, you can make slightly different everything, slightly shorter ears, an even shorter nose mouth area possibly, and a slightly longer nose mouth area with maybe like fur markings and stuff. Lots of different fur colors. This one I don't understand. This one really freaks me out. It's like a bunch of different wolves have been sewn together, and that kind of creeps me out a little bit. I don't think that this is just an overlay costume that the Sims put on. I think it's actually their shape as a werewolf, but this almost implies that it's an overlay costume. So that's a little bit confusing, but it could also be some kind of, gosh, I don't even know, maybe the first, like the head werewolf, the werewolf that turns all the other Sims into werewolves. And he's so ancient that they've had to piece parts of his body back together again from like maybe the Century Wars that the gurus were talking about in their hints. Yeah, lots of different facial styles, ear sizes and everything. So I think you'll have a lot of room to play around. And then babies, toddlers that can howl with a little costume on. It does make you wonder, can they turn into werewolves? I doubt it, because I do not think that children or toddlers can be any of the occults thus far. I think that they can be born, well, technically they can be born as the occult, but they can't like cast spells, do magic, or turn, or like they aren't affected by the vampire effects or whatever until they become adults. So this is likely the same situation if two werewolves got together and had a baby. The baby, toddler, and child would not turn into a werewolf until they were at least a teenager or an adult. Then they would start turning into their werewolf form, but technically they're a werewolf from the start, if that makes sense. And then lots of fighting. I'm gonna say that werewolves are probably naturally aggressive. They love to fight, probably, or maybe just during the full moon anyways, they love to fight. I love this thing. It's another food stall thingy, but it's huge. It's a bus. It looks like you can get, maybe, are those raw meats that you can buy here? Maybe it's a bar? I don't know. It's hard to tell from this image. It looks like it might actually be a bar. And they can play tug of war, apparently, with each other, which is a bit interesting. And Is that a new guitar, potentially? Is this a new flower, or is that one of the ones we already have? Or are they adding Wolfsbane? What does the Wolfsbane look like? I don't remember. Are they adding the Wolfsbane to this pack? Because you kind of need the Wolfsbane for the cure, I guess. Here we go. Here's a better image. That looks so much like the cottage living sign, but possibly instead of that being a rabbit, it's a wolf. But I like this bus thing. It does look like it's a bar that serves drinks. I'm not seeing anybody eating or drinking though, but it almost looks like there are meats in the back as well. It's interesting. And we've got a fishing spot in a lake or a river back here. Full moon. The moon is going to be huge in this world apparently. This is interesting. This looks like it could potentially be one of those rabbit hole places where you can select the different options and maybe open up a secret world or get some kind of, you know, like the one in Willow Creek and the one in Oasis Springs, and then you overlook the town. So we have that. That must be some kind of open field lot where the food bus is at, and then we have buildings over here on the other side, all the factories and stuff. Another look at that. That's kind of cool. I wish we got kind of an overview of the world. Big factory right here, another one right here. I'm gonna say those are actual like lots, like potentially houses or something that just are old renovated factories, and then they're up on the hill with the I know, that's probably how they get up and down from that mountain, like in Windenburg, to get out to that one place. The names of all of these things escape me, but you know, in Windenburg where they go out to that like lot with the natural pool and stuff, and stuff, and there's like the woohoo pea bush there. Yeah, I'm guessing that's what that is. That's the like teleportation doorway to come from some lot right down in this area that teleports you up to there. That makes sense. Definitely gonna be fun and kind of pretty. June 16th. Okay, so on the website we have the pre-order information page, and it says key features: life on the wild side, what big teeth you'll have, transform into a werewolf and embrace or fight your animalistic nature. Beyond rocking a fearsome form, werewolf sims will have unique temperaments and abilities. Be affected by the phase of the moon and experience wolf-specific life events. Okay. Alpha or lone wolf? Craft your werewolf identity. Were you bitten or were you born into a werewolf family? However it happened, now you've got to decide what kind of wolf you want to be. Find a pack to prowl the night with, meet your fated mate atop Howling Point, or shun all that and try to make it as a lone wolf. Okay, I cannot say this word to save my life, but lycanthrope? Lore? There's a lot to learn about werewolves and their origins. Unravel werewolf, vampire, and spellcaster lore as you read books, discover secret tunnels, grow your collection, and interact with denizens of Moodwood Vale. Oh, occult lore. I love it. Okay then, so here are some screenshots. We've got all the like really rough, broken down, tore up, cheap, hopefully cheap furniture. I'll be really disappointed if it's not cheap, if it's really expensive, because I can already see in my head a lot of builds, a lot of rags to riches type builds, a lot of Sims just starting out type builds that this kind of stuff would be perfect for. So I'm hoping it's cheap stuff, but it sounds and looks like, so if you go to The Sims 4, there is where'd it go? If you go to The Sims 4 and you go to latest news, you get like a blog type post. it says embrace the full moon, and it gives you like this whole huge story. You get to completely customize your werewolf. It works much the same way as the other occults where you have a sim self and a werewolf self. You can keep them linked and they will match up in like form and stuff, or you can unlink them and you can make your werewolf look completely different from your sim. It talks about the Moonwood Mill. It talks about how you go about exploring the tunnels and the mountain, going up to the mountain, and it also talks about how you can to some extent control changing into your werewolf. But there are a couple of times, like, there's this thing that werewolves have to be careful of called Fury, and if it maxes out, they change into their werewolf form. And it sounds like maybe they're a very possibly angry werewolf at that point. Also, the full moon can make you involuntarily change, so those are things to be careful of. And then all about the lore and the magical roots of Moonwood Mill and everything, and going through the tunnels and stuff to find all of the different books and whatnot, going to the library, asking around much like Strangerville to find the lore and to piece together the history of the werewolves. So I recommend it. It's a long read. It gives you a lot of information about everything. Look at that cute little costume on that toddler. That's so adorable. So as a builder, I'm really excited to have all this new stuff. As a lover of rags to riches, I'm excited that some of this stuff might be really cheap and it'll fit like old rundown buildings and stuff that we can use for our rags to riches builds and whatnot. As a person who doesn't really love making Sims themselves that much or care about fashion, I have noticed throughout that there are lots of clothing options and they would fit, you know, the rags to riches and whatnot, stuff that I really love. But there are lots of options that are just regular clothing options and they're kind of cool. And you can in fact put clothes on your werewolves too, so that is also an option. This is a new outfit. That's a new outfit. That's a new toddler costume. I'm pretty sure this is a new outfit too, as evidenced by the little moons all over it and stuff. And of course we have a new collar as a necklace. Here's some other new clothing and jewelry. Some of this I actually do kind of like and am kind of excited to see in my worlds and to use. I do like that. But I'm just not really that into clothing and making Sims. I'm more of a builder and a player. So I'm excited more for that kind of stuff. That tree back there, I am super excited for that if that's actually gonna be in the game and placeable. It could be the tree you use to get up on top of the mountain. That could be, you know, like I said, the teleportation portal thing. So that'll be interesting to find out. But yeah, as a builder, I'm always excited to add new build and buy mode stuff to the game. So I am also a little bit excited to just play around with this. I don't play with occults often enough, so I'm kind of excited to do something a little bit different, but mostly excited for the build items and the buy mode items. So I hope you enjoyed this video and my reaction to the new game pack. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe and come back for a review of the pack when it's released on June 16th and more reaction videos in the future, I'm sure, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!